Hello, LEGO fans, and welcome into a brand new episode of the Brick Hour podcast. I am JJ, otherwise known as Lancaster Builds.
I am Cameron, otherwise known as Cameron Studios.
I am Gina, or my bricks and me.
I am Scott, the Rogue Lannister, with a helmet that makes my head look ridiculously large.
Welcome back to the show for his second appearance with us. The one, the only.
Thank you.
Brick Hive.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel honored to be on again.
Yes.
Here I am again.
Man, we love having you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
For those who may not be aware of who you are, if you'd like to quickly introduce yourself, that would be fantastic.
Sure. I am an AFOL. I've been in the community for several years now. Most people know me for ranting, but I do have a nice soft side to me as well.
Yes.
But yeah, I have a show I do every Friday at midnight called Pure Rant Fury, amongst other little tidbits of things here and there. I recently just ended my Good Morning Brick World live stream that I did every Sunday. But in spirit, it has been the baton has been passed on to Lego Longoria. So now he runs it called Good Morning Brick Road Hives Gang. He decided to throw in the Hive Gang on it. So,
Nice.
I know, it was very sweet. But yeah, I'm a content creator out here just laughing it up, I guess,
And you are also a very big Star Wars fan, obviously, which is why you are here.
Yes.
For this week's episode, which by the title you guys already know, we are talking this week about the current state of Lego Star Wars. How we're feeling about where we're at. Oh, okay. But before we get into that,
beat me to it.
yeah, right. Before we get into that, Cam, what are we building this week?
I will trim those ears if you boo one more time.
All right, for those of you who are new to the podcast, what are we building? It's just a quick little segment we do just to talk about anything that we've been building the past week, whether it's mocks, new sets. I was doing mocks for a while, but I'm getting back into sets. So in honor of today's episode, I went and built the Mandalorian brickheads. So love the new Mandalorian. Sigourney Weaver's character is awesome. Great. I love the hair work on her. The Stormtrooper is really interesting. Love the detail on him. I forgot the name of the species, so shame on me, but I just call him Babu Frick.
And
Zellens. Love this guy. Bad baby. And then, of course, my twin, Baby Yoda, Grogu, with his cookies and his new print for his little shield. Or, I guess, shield? No, armor.
Your twin.
Yes. These are Grogu ears.
Your twin.
The resemblance is uncanny.
My favorite, besides for an Ewok.
But no, that's all I've been building. Scott, what have you been building?
Actually, stress. No. Work has been absolutely all-encompassing. However, I did get a chance to revisit a place we stopped at a couple months ago over the weekend, and also I was on the hunt for CMF figures, and I've had some limited success.
I got you.
Wow.
This is a knockoff Juggernaut that was $1.99 at this knockoff store.
Dude.
So, if you look at him from here, he looks great.
Fantastic.
Don't pay attention to the
legs.
Yeah. There's something.
Dumbassery looking.
That is
wild going on
a
there.
character that should have been a big fig.
Yes.
Yeah. He would have been an excellent big fig.
But it's just no.
Now that I think about it, I don't think they've ever done Juggernaut, have they?
No, they haven't.
No, they haven't.
He's in the first Lego Marvel Superheroes game, but that's pretty much it.
So yeah, when you go out to this place, literally they have these troughs, like the troughs from a farm, and they're filled with bags of minifigures still in parts. So when I pulled the bag and I'm like, oh wow, cool, Juggernaut, I'll have a Juggernaut big fig. And then I got home and built it, and I'm like, I don't have a Juggernaut big fig. But alongside of that, though, actually I did have some luck. I found more of these guys. The Astra Militarum, the Imperial Guard from Warhammer.
Oh, cool.
They are knockoff. Obviously, I've talked long on why they'll never ever do a Lego Warhammer, but they're pretty cool, and they make fun display pieces.
I also feel it could be a big fig too, maybe. You know what I mean?
The
Space Marines are huge, dude.
I found this guy a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
It's a Terminator armor, and what was amazing about it was 15 pieces to put them together.
Wow.
Like you wouldn't think that, but it was like literally like you put each leg together, you put everything together, and then get it all together. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've slowly been sinking in the Warhammer sinkhole.
Join
dangerous.
Dude, I've been trying not to because I know what's going to happen if I get too much into it. Because every time I start getting into it, I'm like, yeah, this is fascinating, man. The whole lore, and there's so much lore, it takes forever to keep trying.
Like, yeah, I would say this: if you like lore infused with humor and memes, go check out a guy named Bricky, BRICKY. He's a streamer, but he's known for doing specifically like deep dive college style lectures into Warhammer, just like grazing each of the legions, grazing along the history, and they're like really well done. They're funny. You don't feel that an hour is passing when they do. But it'll give you that nice overview, and then you can figure out if you want to dive into something in particular.
Well, there's a lot of really good videos out there, just covering timelines or factions of Marines or just everything else that's involved in it. Just like I said, there's so much. It just, you gotta kind of you gotta wade through it. You know what I mean?
Ooh, death card. Ooh, Tyrannid. Ooh, oh look, Necrons. So if you ever have a question about it, let me know. I'll point you to a couple of good ones.
Definitely.
Gina, what are you building?
Well, since
Come
I
on.
still have no job and I'm saving my money for June, I went to my mom's house, who has an enormous backlog because she just stopped building all her stuff, and I snagged her Luxo, the lamp guy.
Okay.
So I'm building him, and I have the ball done, and then that's about it. I will say it's fun, but I'm a lot disappointed at the excessive part padding in this set. Why are there so many 1x1s when they could have very easily been 1x2s?
Eggs. They're making Easter eggs.
Not when they're right next to each other and a 1x2 goes on top of them. That's just dumbassery.
They're making little Easter eggs inside of the ball. It's Pixar characters.
I'm gonna put you inside of the ball. I know the circles. The circles are yes. But
she's gonna get you like a Pokemon.
Like these.
Hammer Studios, I choose you.
Those are characters. Those are Pixar characters.
But this one has
we're off the rails already.
Each one buys, and then
raise it up so we can see it. We can't see it. Raise it up.
There we go.
Yes,
I'm glad.
I get it, but going this way.
That's Fredrickson.
Can I say thank you for raising the ball and not your middle finger?
There's just seems to be a lot of. Because I know that, and I know the little circles up at the top are people and whatever, but I think that they could have maybe calmed down a bit. But the ball is really cool.
Cool. Yes, cool. It actually rolls.
Yeah. So I am building him. And next.
Hi, you can go next, my friend.
I haven't built anything in a long time, actually. I think the last thing I built was the Arkham Asylum. I mean, don't get me wrong. Well, that's not totally true. I haven't built any sets, but I have been slowly morphing the city around. I'm still kind of working that out, but
nice.
I haven't really built any sets in a while. I plan on actually building the UCS X-Wing here pretty soon.
Nice.
It's been sitting in the box for the newer one.
Okay.
But I got it when it came out, and it's just been sitting in the box since then. So I used to have it just kind of as a joke displayed in the background in the box. Because I was like, you can still see it. You know what I mean?
That's going to be a common argument of mine right now. Is a lot of my stuff is still in the box tonight.
You gotta get through.
Yeah, because I actually have 2 UCS sets. Because I also have the what was it? It was Obi-Wan Starfighter, I think it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually traded that with Clever Pig. I traded. Oh my gosh, what was it? I can't remember what set it was. I traded for it. But it had a lot of figs in it that I think were worth something. Bad Batch. Yeah, that's what it was. The Bad Batch.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So he had, I can't remember what he said he paid for or whatever, but like he just had all the parts in a bag and everything and just the instruction booklet. But I was like,
that's like, underrated. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Good. Yeah.
All right, and then with me, I'm gonna grab it off the floor because it's sitting out here. But I made a little trade with Cam because Cam didn't want the figures out of this, and I just kind of wanted the set. But the new V19 torrent So this is now the second one of these that I have for my little clone army. So that's always fun. I actually really like this set too. I know people kind of crapped on it because it's shrinkflation, but like it's still cool. I still like it. And I also finished building the Darksaber gift with purchase, which this thing is baller.
Oh yeah, man.
Like I love how
looks
it looks. It's really cool.
I think it's the best out of the bunch.
Oh,
all the lightsabers,
easily.
Yeah.
Yes,
Because I've got Yodas and Luke's down here. I was
Darksaber
gonna get the next one, but I was like, and I get it, like it's technically a different lightsaber. But I'm like, dude, you just gave us Luke's. Like, why are you giving us another one that's like Anakin's
like
Luke's or whatever? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know, man. I was just like, dude, there's so many awesome lightsabers out there, and
I would have loved like Obi-Wan.
Dooku's gotta go with the original trilogy.
Dooku's,
yeah, man. That's definitely
Dooku would be sick.
But
yeah, that's what I'm building. So now let's get into the real meat and potatoes this week of this episode, which is the current state of Lego Star Wars. So the way we're going to kind of look at this here is we're going to look at kind of what's out right now, what they've been doing the last couple of years, but mostly what's out right now, taking a look at like the quality of the sets, what minifigures we're getting, price points, and then we're also going to look at reception. How is the community reacting to these? How is the general public outside of the kind of main Lego community reacting to these? I think best way for us to start is just go around the horn. So then we'll go to Cam, and then we'll do a loop and get back to me at the very end, and then we can kind of dive more into it at that point. So I'll let Cam go first.
Is anything off limits?
No, just like the current state of Lego Star Wars. How do you feel?
Current.
Smart play is in play.
Oh boy,
smart play.
Smart play is a joke. A lot of the sets recently have been extremely overpriced. We have been getting some great figs lately, but with every great fig, we get like 2 mediocre ones. And I feel like Star Wars has sort of lost that charm that it always had. Like, it used to be like Lego Star Wars. Like you heard Lego Star Wars, you got excited. Now you hear Lego Star Wars and like you kind of groan because you're not sure if you're actually going to get a decent set. Smart play has ruined this year. It saved a lot of fans a lot of money because no one's buying them. Tell me I'm wrong. And like, the sets are just so overpriced. Like I bought a Mandalorian and Grogu set just to reach the threshold to get the Darksaber, and like Scott and JJ gave me crap about it on the episode for putting it in the buyer's guide. But I still bought it because I needed to reach the threshold, and we're getting less and less small sets. Like I love play scale sets, love mini sets, like battle packs. Battle packs are getting overpriced too. Like everything, it just seems you think it was Lego Star Wars and I think overpriced or just not that good of a set, and they got to fix it soon. Otherwise, they're holding on to the grasps of old Lego Star Wars fans all these years. The fandom that they have built, they're struggling, and they got to fix it soon.
I can pop off now, or I can pop off later. What do you want me to do?
Go ahead.
All right, fine. I'm not gonna invoke elbow. I'll just say SH blank T. That is the current state of Star Wars. It is SH blank T. Okay, it is a steaming pile that you would find typically, in a house that's been abandoned by people who just want to squat there and they don't have proper plumbing. And it's been there for a while and it's dried out and it's rotted and you really don't want to touch it either. I'm sorry, but I'm just that pissed off.
I thought I was harsh. Jeez.
No,
I'm not as harsh.
Smart Bricks was a disaster. Was a disaster. However you want to put it, it's a disaster. It's not working. You've had consecutive years now where you've put out high price sets that the public has absolutely no interest in or are such poor quality that I wouldn't buy them to give them to charity for free because I would pity the children that would end up with them.
Think of the children.
Think of the children, man. Don't buy it. Don't give them Lego Star Wars toys. Think of the children. Give them something nice, like Lord of the Rings. I'm just saying. But let's put it from this perspective.
You want them to give it to you. You want Lord of the Rings given to you.
No, I want Lord of the Rings gift with purchases. Thank you very much. Anyway, my wife, God bless her, she tasks me with getting rid of my backlog. This was what I had this weekend. It's all Star Wars sets, but the only thing I'm keeping from it are troops. That's it. And every single one of these, I never paid a full MSRP for. Never. I would get them on deep discount. I would do that. I'm not gracing them with my presence. This is the first year so far I have not bought a single Star Wars set.
Whoa.
Period. Zero. Anything released since January 1st, I have not bought a single Star Wars set, even the new battle pack. I've not bought it. I bought stuff last year that I really, really liked, like the Arc 170 and like the new U-Wing. But I did not buy much else beyond that. And in fact, the thing I bought this year to qualify for the Darksaber was stuff from last year, because the stuff that's currently out right now, I don't care. I'm sorry. It's just, it's that stuff that you scrape off your boot and you go, oh God, when did I step in that? And there's my 2 cents. Hive, if I stole your thunder, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
I got I know I went to the Lego store and it was kind of just, I was talking with the employees and they were basically like, Lego should have focused more on sending them more of like the Toy Story sets, because none of the Star Wars sets were selling well at all. So, I mean, that should say enough right there. You're looking at like May the 4th, whatever stuff that they do with 2, 3, 4 times points and all kinds of stuff, which was, even for me, where like I don't grasp all that as much as like big, huge fans, seemed very underwhelming and a little disappointing. So the fact that they would get like 2 of the alien Toy Stories riding in the spaceship and all kinds of Star Wars sets, and everybody was coming in for the Toy Story sets, kind of is like, So yeah, I'm gonna agree that it's pretty. I'll let Elmo win. It's pretty shitty.
Instead of that worth $5.
It's just
Hit it, Hive. Hit it hard.
Go right ahead, Hive.
All on you, Hive.
Geez, the pressure. No, I mean, look, Lego in general, but we'll just, we're talking about Lego Star Wars specifically. It's been in a decline for quite a while.
Yeah.
The last, so obviously, all my opinions are my own. Obviously, the shrinkflation, while that doesn't bother some people, it bothers the hell out of me. Because when I came out of my dark ages, it seemed like there was basically kind of like 3 different stages of Lego Star Wars sets. There was stuff like +4, or maybe some stuff that was very obviously for like very little kids. Then there was like UCS sets, but then you had something in the middle where it was at least a little girthy. You know what I mean? It felt like it was a little more like kids could obviously play with it, but like it was nice enough that adults could put it on a shelf. The last set that I bought that was similar to that, I think, was the Inquisitor ship.
Scythe.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Which was, it was a very great ship. Everything pretty much that's come out since then has been dog shit, in my opinion.
Instead of that worth $5.
It's been, a shadow of its former self. I saw a comparison the other day, it might have been Ryan's video or something like that, with the 2 smaller UCS Razor Crest ships, right? You get the new one with the yellow, then we had the other one that came out, a few years back. I got the one that came out a few years back, and I was looking at it, and I was like, this isn't even that big, man. You're telling me the other one is even smaller?
It is.
I mean,
I have it.
So there's that's been going on. And then over the years, more and more, and I used to kind of joke as a conspiracy, and I still kind of do, but I really getting to believe that it's actually real, is Lego is just trolling Lego Star Wars fans, I think, at this point. Because, I mean, and if they're not, they don't, like with everything with them, they don't communicate anything. They don't tell us anything for certain. They don't use their land members, ambassadors, to communicate things to us efficiently or on time or anything like that. So like minifigs, we all know the whole thing. Okay, they can't make CMF series for minifigs for whatever reason, because it's not an action figure. They're called minifigures, but whatever, you know what I mean? I mean, Funko Pops can make some and everybody else can make some, you know what I mean? But like, what, we can't make minifigures out of them and sell them? It's stupid. But there's other things they could do to appease us in that kind of a way. Like I thought they were called blister packs, but the little minifig packs, like
the blister packs.
Oh, yeah.
We could do some of those, man. You know what I mean? I've complained a lot about like, gift of purchase. Like, come on, man, just give us a minifig. You can sell a set, or if you want to give us a set and a minifig or something, that's great. You know what I mean? But just can you give us a cool minifig that's just different or whatever, that we don't have to, buy a set that we might not necessarily want. You know what I mean? Then there's the whole thing about like the helmet stuff recently. You know, about like, oh, we just saw the Lord of the Rings helmet and then F1 helmets, and they all come with minifigs. But Star Wars fans, the ones that have kept this franchise, you know, Lego afloat for decades or whatever, yeah, screw us, man. You know what I mean? Like, and then people are like, well, then it wouldn't be consistent. When is Lego ever consistent? Can someone please tell me that?
Like, they're not.
Yeah,
they're not
at all. Consistent about is being inconsistent. So, and what you're saying, like, if they gave us a cool fig going forward with these helmets, like all the Star Wars fans would be like, I don't want these figs. They never did it before.
No,
whatever,
no one's saying that.
That's a stupid argument.
No one's saying that.
So
no one would say that at all.
So there's just a multitude of layered different things that's going on. You know, everything, things that I've mentioned to things that they've just made blatant mistakes about. Like, I'm like, do you guys proofread stuff you write and whatever? Like, there's been so many things, dude, that I'm just like,
so true.
Or you get the first $1,000 set. And I know everybody's like tired of hearing it's a broken record, but it needs to be said a billion times, man. That $1,000 set came with stickers and then not dual molded legs for these minifigs that you can get off a keychain. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Amongst other stuff. Like, so I've pretty much just don't, you know, not to curse, but I don't care anymore. I think that there'll still be, just in Lego in general, I think there'll still be some things that pop up that I might want to get. If this this Mandalorian N1 Starfighter was the actual Naboo N1, you know,
thank you,
Starfighter, I would have bought it. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
But I don't care about Mandalorian Grogu anymore. You know what I mean? Mandalorian's cool, but I'm sorry, I want Grogu to die. I really need somebody to take that little green thing out, man. Like, it's over. We're done with it. They've milked it as much as they possibly can, dude.
They have. They really have.
And listen,
I truly believe.
I was gonna say I wouldn't even be bitter about it, but at the end of season 2, when they had the send off and everything, you know, and everybody got all emotional, you know, and you sit there and tug at my heartstrings, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of sick of this little green thing, but like, I'm gonna shed a tear. It's emotional. Bye, Grogu. Have a good time with Luke. You know what I mean? And then Book of Boba Fett. Derek, right back at it.
Mandalorian season 2.5. That's all it was. It was Mando season 2.5.
I truly believe that they heard their fan reaction of, "Oh my god, does this mean Ben Solo kills Grogu in the Jedi Second Purge?" And they went, "Oh crap, we have to fix this now." And they brought him back to get him away from Luke Skywalker.
So look, I mean, it's not like they still don't make an occasional set or whatever that I think is really cool or might be worth the money or blah, blah, blah. And I get a lot of people still just holding on, you know, I get it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just don't care anymore, man.
I'm with you to an extent. I don't think Lego Star Wars is in as bad a spot as it looks to be. I think shrinkflation is definitely a problem. I don't think shrinking the size of the sets is the problem. I think making certain things smaller so they're more palatable for someone new coming in is not terrible. But when it costs more than the previous one that was way bigger, that's an issue to me.
Yes. They're deliberately and they're going against what they said before, where they made this big kerfluffle a couple of years ago when the Venator came out and Captain Rex came out, and they said we're not going to hide our figures behind paywalls. And then they did that.
There's that consistency, man.
One time where Rex was in a microfighter, and ever since then, like, and we talked about this with the Turbo Tank a couple weeks ago, where I said, if they're doing it right, next year we get a Galactic Marine battle pack and we get Bakara and a microfighter of some sort.
Probably.
And I think
the microfighter will be a UT-18. It'll make all Star Wars fans go absolutely frigging crazy.
Yeah.
Look, and I think what you said about the Rex and the microfighter, you know, exclusivity, like that's a different, separate like debate or argument to be had, because some people like rarity stuff. I kind of do too, but at the same time, it's not. It doesn't feel cool to be like, oh, you can't get it because you can't afford it. But it's not. That's not the point. The point is what Lego says and then doesn't do. That's what a lot of us complained about. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, Lego, just like they said they weren't going to do regional exclusive stuff anymore. And obviously that happens all the time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but I agree. It's that whole paywall thing was kind of weird.
I mean, like you said, I'm fine with them putting exclusive characters in, like young Yularen being the Venator. I'm A-okay with that. But don't paywall Captain Rex behind $650.
Exactly.
No way.
Especially if
No
you
way.
released him in 12 years.
Yeah.
And he's the
Don't
most popular, vaunted character of the Clone Wars.
Exactly. Don't take one of the most beloved characters and put him behind a paywall. Now, like going back to the Death Star that you brought up earlier, I think expectations are so high being the first $1,000 set. JJ, shut up. The pizza slice, as it's become known, there were so many expectations. The Death Slice, there were so many expectations behind it. People were expecting like an actual sphere.
That's different to me, though.
I know, but I'm getting to the point where there's so much that they could have done with it. The fact that it was $1,000 set, and there's some things that are paywall. Like honestly, the Stormtrooper in the bathing suit, that I'm fine with being a set like that. That is to me like that's a reward for buying that set. But then if you were to put, I'm trying to think of a character that people would want that they haven't done already, but if they put like a Rex in there, like a brand new Rex or something, like the first Rex in years in that set, that would be frustrating. Like they pick and choose their battles.
Yeah, but some stuff, I will admit, some stuff makes sense. You know, I get it's just going to be exclusive. There's no way around it. But like some stuff makes sense to put in some sets. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And only those sets because of whatever, maybe the ship, pilot, you know, setting, whatever scene. Like, so I get some stuff. You know what I mean? So you know, I think really what I think a lot of, I don't know. I think what some people might have complained about more was more types of different exclusive stuff. Maybe I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good example, but
Kara and the Marines locked behind that god awful turbo tank,
which is already retiring.
I'm sorry, that's the prime example right now. You locked something that's never been made up before, and you know it could have had its moment. It could have been great. It could have been a great turbo tank, and you put out that piece of garbage.
But like, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry that
and then you're forced, and then you're basically saying, look, you want these figures, $160, and that's not cool. Right? It's really not cool.
No. I mean, and here's the thing is, I agree with Ryan on the fact, and him and I both said this for years, but like, I feel like Lego Star Wars needs somebody that really knows Star Wars.
Yes,
to 100%. It, because there are certain decisions, whether they're not doing it, maybe because of money, I don't know. But like, for instance, the Darksaber. Tell me what cool exclusive fig could have came with that Darksaber.
Pre-Vizsla.
Yep.
Ooh.
Dude,
you put
Star Wars fans are trying to get cool minifigs, something very neat, you know, and blah, 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 blah. Like, that would have been really great. Now, don't get me wrong, there probably have been a lot of people upset, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. But like, I feel like you could sell that. You know what I mean? You could sell the set with the fig and like get something different for a gift of purchase. You know what I mean? But the point is, that's just one little example, but there's all kinds of stuff that they could do. You know what I mean? And, you know, I always joke around, you know, like, you know, the Girth Gang from ACOB, you know what I mean? Like they love Aunt Beru. You know what I mean? And it's like, look, my whole thing is like, I'm not against Aunt Beru. If we had other cool stuff, then give me an Aunt Beru. But it's like, you sit there and dry up like everything, like to where we don't get any cool figs, like blah, 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 for a gift or purchase or whatever. And then the one you give us after years or whatever is Aunt Beru. And then the next one you give us is like the clone cadet kids. Like, are you kidding me, dude?
I loved that set though.
I don't, dude.
I love that set.
Dude, that set can go pound sand, dude. Are you kidding me, dude? We have a whole
I get what you're saying.
We have a whole universe full of Sith, bounty hunters, Jedi, droids, aliens, and you're giving me Aunt Beru and clone cadets.
Yeah,
Aunt Beru should have been in something else. The cadets, I do think were cool.
I mean,
cadets, honestly,
even if they are cool, then where does that place a badass Darth Bane or something? You know what I mean? Like
with
beyond Omega level cool.
The cadets,
that's what I'm saying. I'm
should have been a battle pack.
Huh?
Yeah.
They should have been a battle pack, honestly, because that is something people would have mass bought. I feel like that's why it was a gift with purchase. What are we at 4 times now? We've seen it as a gift with purchase.
They're using it as a. It's
Oh
a
yeah,
lure.
that would have been.
Yeah,
a
they
good
keep
battle
putting
pack.
it out
lore.
so we can buy Star Wars stuff.
That's all it
But
is.
see,
the
the
lore.
only people that really would have been buying that battle pack is like mock builders, dude. Because why else would
Exactly.
anybody want
I
a
have
whole
to come up
army
with
of like
Mhm.
little clones?
Little
You know
kids.
what I mean? Like I don't.
The
That's like a
trainees.
And
creeper
it's like, and
battle
they're not
pack.
even like
What
different.
are
They're
we
all,
doing?
and I get it because they're clones, but it's just like they all look the same, dude.
Why you making me feel dirty, man?
You want
It just blows
you
my
want an
mind
army
again.
of little
with-
kids? I mean,
They're not kids.
okay.
They're actually like adult. They're
They're
not.
adults.
No,
They're just
they're
tiny
little.
They're grown.
Here's
No,
another
they're grown.
point.
And it's not even just Lego. It's like Star Wars in general right now. Like
Right,
you're
well, here's
telling me
another-
with all these badass, all this expanded universe stuff that we used to have, you know what I
that
mean?
you could
Like
bring
that-
in and do stuff with.
Dude,
now.
there's are you kidding me? There's so much. And
To your point,
and then we're like, oh, let's put out a Mandalorian Grogu movie. It's like, sure, I guess. I mean, we just saw 3 seasons of it, and the last one wasn't
Right.
that great, you know what I mean? But like,
Mhm.
sure,
yeah.
throw it up on
Ne-
the screen, you know.
Never,
like-
never mind a red-eyed, blue-skinned guy that just got back in the galaxy. I wonder what he's up to. We couldn't possibly
still haven't
devote.
seen
We
Thrawn.
couldn't possibly devote, some freaking screen time to one of the most popular characters.
No, we don't
in-
know if
in Star Wars
Thrawn's-
literature history.
we don't
Thrawn
know. He
could
he
legitimately
be
be
Kano.
in Man.
And
We don't
dude,
know
look.
yet. He probably isn't, but he could be in there.
He could.
And the
He
thing
could be
with
mentioned.
Thrawn is like, for a lot of us that are a little older, maybe, or even if you're younger and you've just explored older lore, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
Thrawn was really cutthroat, man, and like
Yeah.
a master
Mhm. He was.
tactician. Like he was a scary dude.
They
man,
toned
when
him
they
back
wrote him in the
hard.
books. And
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
And even I even liked him in was it Rebels?
Rebels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
was
I even
cool in
liked him in
Rebels.
Rebels, and I didn't hate him in Ahsoka. But he didn't really feel the same, man. He didn't really feel that
No.
threatening aura.
He didn't feel. I think.
He had a
The
rocket
shows in
dad
general.
bod in that though.
Oh, God.
yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
I
Hey,
feel
no
like-
hate, no hate.
Yeah.
The
I'm-
big
I'm
thing
Thrawn.
with, I think a big problem with Lego Star Wars right now is not just what they're doing with the sets,
Mm.
but also the content we've been receiving. We've been receiving a lot of TV shows lately, and like the sequel trilogy films weren't received well at all. We all know that.
They're
Solo
bad.
wasn't received well. Mandalorian Grogu is seemingly not going to do that well. The films that we've got haven't. So like, the only like fantastic thing we've got from Star Wars recently was Andor.
Rogue One. Rogue One
Rogue
was
One.
really good too.
Yeah,
Right,
Andor,
but I'm
Rogue
going
One.
like more recent.
Mm.
And like, did we get a lot of sets for Andor? No. We got 3
Dude.
sets.
And
Well,
the best
three
one
cent-
we could have given us was Luthen's ship, man.
Exactly.
oh,
and
the
then
Are you kidding me, dude?
to
Andor,
that
man.
point,
Did you guys see
What's
that mock of that one recently?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't seen a mock one.
he took
a-
the smart brick Millennium Falcon and modded it into the Fondor, and it's absolutely amazing.
like
So-
You mean the mini scale one that's behind me that like I bought the directions for the Serenity yet and I haven't built it yet because I'm really thinking about going for the Fondor. I really am.
Dude,
I really am
I
thinking
am-
about going for the Fondor.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Me too, because that's a UCS ship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because how many is it?
yeah.
I want to say it's like 9,000 pieces or something, man.
Yeah.
I might be over exaggerating, but like,
Something like that.
but it's a girthy looking ship, dude. And it is
Exactly.
beautiful looking. I didn't see exactly what he did with the smart brick though.
Oh yeah, somebody bought the smart brick Millennium Falcon and modified it into the Fondor with just the parts from that
No
Millennium
way.
Falcon, and it
I gotta go look
looks
at that, man. That's crazy.
fantastic.
I
And
will
the
send you the
smart
link.
brick
I'll
is-
send you
Yeah,
the link.
definitely.
The smart brick is incorporated
Mhm.
into it, and it like still makes like the function for when the ship is flying, and it's integrated seamlessly. You can't even
Mhm.
see it's there. It's perfect.
And you know, speaking of smart brick, just not. I mean, this isn't like me bashing it right now. This is me with a question. I'm curious. I mean, I can see now just from hindsight, but I'm just if they just sold the Star Wars sets like without the brick,
Yeah.
and then they just sold the brick
Mhm.
and the charger, dude. I just feel like they would have sold way more because then you could pick any
Ye-
Star Wars set you want and then just pay. I don't know
Well,
what
that could
$30
work.
or what. I don't know what Lego charge for just a brick and the charger.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But like,
You know
then
how much
can
money I
buy
would
that.
have paid
But
just to get a new Darth Vader tie advanced?
True.
right? But
And-
mock builders would have probably bought a buttload of those bricks, dude.
Yeah.
So I know we were all together for May the 4th or May
Yeah.
1st or whatever. I went
Mhm.
back the next day because I wanted more parts because I needed parts for a mock. And I was there and talking with the store employees, just we're all talking together. And a guy walks up and he's like, I have a question. about this, and it was a smart brick set. And he's like, "Is there a smart brick in here?" And I said, "No." He says, "Then why am I paying $90 for something that doesn't even cover what it's advertised for?" I said, "I don't know how to. I mean, I'm not an employee. I'm just a fan like you are, but I'm telling you right now, the minimum you have to pay to go along with that is $70." And he's like, "So that's 90 plus 70." I said, "Yes, just to get one brick, and you're only going to use the function one time the whole way through." He went and he put it back. He straight up, he didn't even without a second thought in his head. He was like, "Nope, I can find something better."
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I've screamed at the clouds about it, man. That it to me, look, I get Lego, I want to make some money and stuff, but to me, it's just absolutely like disgusting, dude. The way they're selling these things, like you got to buy 2 sets to kind of enjoy the one, or like I said, like, oh, well, if you wanted to actually have the Millennium Falcon and the TIE Fighter fight each other with the smart bricks, you got to buy 2 of the TIE Fighter sets and then one of the Millennium Falcon. And not to mention just these strain you put on parents, you know what I mean? Trying to like keep up with some of this stuff or make their kids happy, or even just getting stuff mixed up, not knowing what's what. It's insane, dude.
It is. They're losing focus on what fans are truly wanting. And I feel like it seems like we're getting repeat sets over and over and over. Like we've gotten so many Millennium Falcons. We're getting so many Luke's Land Spears. That's the meme. And like, I feel like they're focusing so much. Like, don't get me wrong, I love original trilogy, but I feel like we're getting mainly original trilogy. We're getting a sprinkle of other stuff. There's so much from Phantom Menace that we haven't gotten, so much from Attack of the Clones, so much from Revenge of the Sith, Rogue One. There are so many sets that we haven't gotten, so many characters, so many creatures. There's so much that we haven't gotten. And we're still going back to doing stuff that we've already gotten. Like we keep repeating ourselves, and I feel like that's
a Disney
Lego.
problem.
There are clauses, there are requirements in the contract that require them to make a Darth Vader every year. There might be a requirement in the contract that requires them to make a Millennium Falcon every other year. I don't know the contract. We're all just spitballing here. I know from past experiences the way Star Wars was always marketed through Hasbro that they had to have certain quotas in place.
Yes,
right.
Of certain characters, they had to be there every year, so they would keep pumping out the same characters every year.
But you'd think that they would have pushed the sequels a lot harder, man. You know what I mean?
That's a good
and here's the other thing too: is like,
they did.
Even though I've got my own beef right now, I've been ranting about a lot about Darth Maul and everything. It's weird because I love Darth Maul, but you would think with these new shows, man, like. Or even just any of the animated shows, man. There's been a lot of cool, like Visions was really cool. Like they've had a lot of cool stuff, man. Like you think they at least give us something, man.
Will they grace us with Maul sets? Because there was some
maybe
good
next
characters
year.
In that.
Maybe next year, if that. Like it's almost like they don't have faith in the Disney Plus shows, because Disney Plus is behind a paywall. Like we didn't get hardly any Bad Batch sets. They loved Mandalorian. We got barely any Book of Boba Fett. We got 3 Ahsoka sets. And then like we haven't got any for Visions.
5,
and
actually.
It's almost like they keep repeating stuff from the past, but like why don't they go back and like revisit Rebels? Maybe like there's a new group of fans that might be interested in Rebels. Like to the point, I'm buying old sets instead of new ones now because these look better to me, and they might be a little bit more pricey, but they look better to me.
I mean, if you want to take it from that perspective too, I'm sorry if I cut somebody off because I'm thinking about it right now. Let's do like we did with Ninjago. Give me a Star Wars Legacy line where you can revisit some of these classic sets and rebuild them or remake them, or visit something new with them, and then keep your smart bricks very far away from the serious business that will be the Legacy line.
And with Ninjago, they tend to put the sets out before the things have happened in the show, so they could have put out like Maul sets before that release.
Well, that's a Disney thing. They probably didn't want spoilers. Like they probably said, no, we're not going to do sets till after the show.
There's a very easy way to avoid spoilers. Just don't put those characters. Just don't give Lego the concept art that has those characters or whatever in it.
You can't do that then, because then you pretty much that's all anybody but people are not buying Star Wars sets for the ships or the vehicles anymore. I'm sorry, they suck. The only thing that draws people to Star Wars right now are the minifigures.
Exactly.
They want to see they want to see their Star Wars characters as minifigures.
I don't 100% agree with that.
Something that I'm kind of confused about, though, and I was just thinking about it because we were talking about how like Disney is probably the ones calling the shots on what sets to make and this and that. But I've seen Hasbro or whatnot, whoever, you know what I mean? Like take the Black Series, for instance.
Yes.
Like, yeah, they'll make some figs or whatever that coincide with a show that's going on right now or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they give us a lot of really cool random type figs.
Exactly.
I've got Darth Revan and then Jedi Revan or whatever, you know what I mean? Like up there up on the wall. So what I'm saying is like, why can't Lego do stuff like that? Give us like some, you know, maybe like some characters or some sets from like one of the games that they have the awesome cinematic, you know, whatever.
Oh, like Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah, like just like, there's what I'm saying is like there's so much they can give us. And yeah, they always, and I was under the impression, I can't remember if somebody told me or heard it, where one of the designers was like, yeah, we like the original trilogy, so that's what we focus on. You know what I mean?
I've seen that too.
And I like, look, yeah, I grew up on the original trilogy and all that, man. You know what I mean? But like at the same time, I do like the prequels as well.
Yes.
But maybe it's time to let that generation have their day. You know what I mean? Like they're old enough now, like they're spending money, blah, blah, blah. Let them, it's not like we're going to erase the original trilogy. And then if anything, I feel bad for the people that like the sequels. I mean, I hate them, you know what I mean? But like people that love them, we had like a wave.
There was some cool stuff that came out of the sequels.
Yeah, I mean, and even if you hate the movies, like there was cool sets. Kylo Ren looks cool. I mean, I liked all the characters. It's just about what they did. And
I'd love to see them do the,
you know what I mean, like
again.
I mean, there was so much. Oh my god, dude, there's so much.
The ATM-6.
How many Captain Phasmas did we get? 1,
2, 2,
4,
2. No, we got Phasma twice.
I thought we
but
got
even twice, like how rare is it kind of to get one? Like, but we've got 5 billion Darth Vaders, dude.
It's like
what? But that's what I mean. Like, who was running Lego Star Wars?
And now we're gonna have a really big Darth Vader too.
See, though, I'm excited for that. I'm like, that's a cool to me.
Don't forget the Darth Vader bust and the amazing Yoda bust.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
I look at this and I just go like when I look at Maul, that early like ATDP that they have in that show, where I'm sitting there watching that a couple nights ago with my fiance, and she looks at me and goes, "Why didn't they make that into a Lego set?" I'm like, "That's a great question. Why didn't they make that Walker into a Lego set?"
They did. It's in Rebels.
I know, but this ATDP is way before that one. So like you could have done that. There's a lot like, and I've seen stuff from like Hive to your point about the prequels. Like TOT they've been doing their like clips contest, and I've seen the same clip getting floated around of them debating how the prequels has stuff that you could better continue reproducing because of like color variants, like the Jedi Starfighters. You could pump 1 million of those out, and you could have one be assigned to a different Jedi every year, and no one will care because it might be the same-ish build, but it's a different color scheme with a different minifigure included, and people are excited to get more of those. But when you keep doing Luke's X-Wing 2 years later, Luke's X-Wing 2 years later, Luke's X-Wing, like, oh my God, how many Red 5 X-Wings are we going to get? That's part of the reason why I love the new, the New Republic one that just came out.
Yes.
1, because they made updates to it. It looks fantastic. But 2, it's not another red X-Wing again. It's a blue one. And I'm like, this is cool. It's different. It made me excited to get my hands on it.
There was the 1 year they did a Red 5, but they also included the tiles and the color and the secondary pilot and the secondary R2 unit. That it wasn't Red 5. It could have been another one of Rogue Squadron.
Which was cool.
That was brilliant. That was smart.
They never did it again.
They never did it again. And again, you've got all this stuff in the lore with Rogue Squadron, with Wraith Squadron, with, you could do the partisan ships just from Force Awakens, where they were all different colors, or they are all different schemes and different pilots. The
Saw Gerrera's X-Wings, the all black ones would have been cool.
I mean, having a little bit more Snap Wexley would have been actually fun, because it was a pretty cool way to get Greg Gunburn to get into the series. And, that was a nice tie-in where Snap was in the books and in the movies. It was one of those rare moments where they could market the books and the movies together.
I had this whole thing going on for a little while, and I still believe in it. But where I thought the first $1,000 set should have been the Ghost.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
there's most of the reasons was because of, I just love Ghost so much. I think it would be as girthy, if not probably a little girthier than the Falcon was. You
It's
slap
bigger
the
than
Phantom
Falcon.
on top of it, give us both old school, maybe new school, like different versions of like the crew or whatever. I'm sure there's some type of cool figs you can put in there that besides the obvious ones. But the other reason was I'm like, Lego, you go paint yourself into a corner, man. I mean, because first of all, who gives a shit about the Death Star? Sorry for my cursing. You know what I mean? like the Death Slice.
Zero.
Look, my whole thing is like, okay, if it's for adults, what are we doing? Are we playing with it? You want to give us a play set, or you want to give us a display set? Now, granted, I'll give it that even as a play set, it still looks good as a display set. Yeah. But I'm like, but what else? Help me out. Maybe people in the chat can put up their opinion. What could be the next $1,000 set? What do you think?
Ghost is the only thing I can think of.
Well, I mean, I'm sure the next Falcon, which I'm sure they'll do because it's the Falcon. I love the Falcon, but that'll be the next $1,000 set. But I'm saying, like, what else could you do? What else could you make that big? That's going to $1,000. And besides the Ghost,
Star Destroyer.
No, we've already got how many Star Destroyers have we got?
If you do a Star Destroyer with an interior.
Okay,
they haven't done an interior in any of them yet.
I'm thinking, like, okay, what was it last time? 600.
Well,
yeah,
I can't remember. So you'd have to get $400 more slapped onto that.
If I'm not mistaken,
25 pieces for Lego, and that would be fine to them.
If I am not mistaken, one of my Grails is getting remade in the next 6 months.
You
big
have
boy,
to share a little
the
more.
SSD. They're coming up with an SSD.
Yeah.
Like I think if it's gonna. And I firmly believe the SSD will replace the Falcon. That's why the Falcon's retiring.
True.
Is because they've got something bigger coming out. And yes, the Super Star Destroyer with an interior, which is what I'm wondering.
But how big is that going to be, dude?
Bro, it's got to be.
Think about it. Like the Ghost, the size of the Falcon is. I mean, dude, that's going to be huge.
Falcon's massive.
Anything beyond that is going to be like insane. Because if you do a Super Star Destroyer, like, and it'd be cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but I'm just like, how big would that have to be?
Wouldn't
to have it would have
it would have to be bigger than the Venator.
Yes,
it'd be like easily 5 feet long.
Yeah,
an SSD.
What kind of room are you going to need for that thing?
An SSD was
same as a Titanic. Just put it on top of the fireplace.
Goodness gracious!
But an SSD is 7.5 kilometers long. It's the biggest freaking ship in the mythos right now, other than Supremacy.
It'll be the next Star Wars.
That's the rumor, right?
Set.
I mean, it's coming out.
Well, there's a picture of it floating around too.
So. But it's not going to be a.
I was right that the Ghost is like the best to do. I mean, the only problem with the Ghost is the biggest fans of it are apart from Rebels, and like we saw a little bit in Ahsoka, but outside of that, like that hasn't been in any major film, so that's why Lego's probably not so confident in it. Which sucks. Like I want a UCS Ghost.
That's been the pretty much bigger argument for anytime I bring this up is like nobody's gonna know who it is, or it's not gonna be popular enough, or blah blah blah. And then for that, I say, well, fake fan. Go watch some more Star Wars besides the original trilogy. You know what I mean? Like,
go look at Rebels.
Don't drag me down in your mediocrity, man, because you can't expand your horizon on Star Wars. You know.
Also,
what I mean?
they just put the Ghost in Ahsoka, so. The fans who are watching the TV shows now have seen the Ghost and know what it is.
Yeah,
crying out loud, dude. And you know what? The generation growing up, like they might know the Ghost more than the Falcon, anyways.
Honestly,
I don't know.
And my fiance's never seen Rebels ever in her life, but she knows the Ghost like the back of her hand. She goes,
and I'm not even going to make the comparison that the Ghost is more popular than the Falcon. You know what I mean? I think that's a bunch of malarkey. You know what I mean? But in another 10 years, you know what I mean? It could be, you know what I mean? But that's not even the point. The point is, like I'm saying, like they're going to want to keep trying to chug along with 1,000 or the closest to it they can. You know what I mean? So I just was like, dude, it just seems obvious, man. Like,
after how well the Death Slice did, whether it was great or not so great or just in the middle, will Lego want to do another $1,000 set, or do they think that was too high of a price point?
No, they'll do it again easily.
They'll do it again.
Well, it might not be Star Wars next, but they'll do it again.
The way they can get away with it is production.
Another $1,000 Star Wars set then.
Yes,
they'll try it one more time.
I mean, they did it with the Death Star. And who knows if we'll ever know the numbers. You know what I mean? Like, did they do really well? Like, did it sell out? Did they make it? Blah blah blah. But the thing is, like, now they at least have something to base it off of. And let's say the next $1,000 set, they'll probably produce low, and then increase production as if they're like, okay, this is taking off. You know what I mean?
I really think that
even at let's just say that even at launch, if they only had 10,000 of them, and they sold them all at $1,000 a set. Done.
Right?
There you go.
And
That's
see, and here's even the bigger thing, because it's Lego. It wasn't just about like making money, which obviously it is, but it's also about like they made waves, dude. Everybody in the freaking world was talking about $1,000 Lego set, and it seemed like there were definitely people out there, and I'm sure a lot of normies and parents were like $1,000 Lego set, like and giving the middle finger or whatever. But like a lot of us didn't blink an eye.
Oh, it
still sold great.
The Death Star to me was a victim of circumstance. I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's gonna be this," and then when it wasn't that, everybody was like, "This sucks." And I'm like, "No, if you had just tempered your expectations and not put it on this pedestal of it's gonna be what I want it to be,"
right?
Like I mean, Cam, you, me, and Scott had the privilege, I guess I'll say, of our lug was sent a Death Star by Lego, and we were able to build it. Yes. And seeing it in person, it's impressive. It's a very cool set.
Oh yeah.
Would I spend $1,000 on it? No way. Would I ever spend $1,000 on that? But for what it is, I'm like, yeah, this is really cool in my opinion. So I just wouldn't pay a grand for it.
I had to babysit that thing for a weekend, right? I that was my job that entire time. I was there to talk to people who had questions about it, answer, and literally 95% of it was, is this $1,000 set? And I would say, yes, this is Lego's first $1,000 set. It's the Lego Star. I'll go through the spiel, explain what it is, all the different floors, everything else on it. And they look at it and they go, too much, and just keep right on going. And I'd be like,
you know what? I feel like that has a lot to do with the set, though. Because the Falcon, ECS Falcon, has been on the shelf for years, and it seems like it's been doing a lot of people.
It goes on back order every year.
Right. But it's because it's a cool, and that's what I was talking about with the Ghost, man. I'm like, you're sitting there, adults welcome, but then your first $1,000 set, and again, I get maybe it looks nice, you know what I mean, and I don't hate it, but it's like, but it's just full of play features, man. It's something that you could put a kid in front of, and they can have fun playing inside of it, like a dollhouse, you know what I mean? Now, but if you give me a beautiful Ghost, I'll plaque that thing up on the wall, you know what I mean?
If the $1,000 Death Star was like Death Star 2 from 2002 or whatever that one was,
I probably would have bought it.
Completely different story.
Yeah, even if it didn't have like an interior, if it was just extremely detailed,
it would have been it would have been a display piece, like a set that size. Like the person who can buy that set isn't buying to play with it; they're buying it to display because they're a collector. But going through all this conversation, like the Death Star and then Smart Play, like it made me realize something. Lego has come to use Star Wars to test something because they know they're pretty certain that Lego Star Wars fans will buy it because they are Lego Star Wars sets, and that is just not fair to the Lego Star Wars fans. Nobody wants Smart Play. Did it work putting $1,000, the first $1,000 set in Star Wars? Probably, because it's their longest running IP partnership that Lego has. But there were so many other themes that they could have done a $1,000 set with potentially. We don't know. They could have done an icon set. And I feel like it's not fair to Lego Star Wars fans that they were using them as their guinea pigs. I feel like that's where a big core of the problem is. They raise the prices on these Star Wars sets to see if fans will still buy them. They do the Smart Play to see if people still buy them. They do the $1,000 set. They're using them as guinea pigs.
And this is kind of where I'm hoping this will go. Is last year Star Wars was still in the top 5, but it wasn't the number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Where years prior, Star Wars was always number 1.
Yeah.
Now I want to see what the sales. I want to see the results from this year. I want to see the top five themes from this year, because that's what they'll say, and I want to see if Star Wars retained even the top 5 ranking, because I don't think it will.
I don't think it will.
I would agree with you on that. There's just too
much stuff. And Smart Play will drag it down.
Too many A-falls and T-falls that are just, they've had enough, man. They're just tired of it for the most part. Even if they still buy some stuff, they're not buying.
They're speaking with their wallets now. They're finally speaking with their wallets.
And, when they raise the price of battle packs, you don't see really anybody building armies anymore. You know what I mean? Remember how everybody used to build armies?
Like the 327th battle pack is for what you're getting. The minifigures mine again. The waist cape problem is an issue. I don't really give two craps at all about the friggin' helmet holes. That doesn't matter to me. Like, they're there. You can customize your troopers. Great. I don't hate them. Waist capes, those got to get brought back. But like that 327th battle pack on its own is a really good set. Is it $45? No way.
No.
Absolutely not. If it was like $30, I'd be singing its praises for days on end. But it's not $30.
And that's
So,
the
no,
whole thing about like the whole see, and that's where I feel like a lot of people now, not just like people that are just gun-ho about stuff, got money, whatever. Like, I'm not even talking about them, but I'm talking about like a lot of other people that they have a little bit of limited income, or definitely parents. You know what I mean? They've got to be, because I remember over a decade ago when I was with my kid looking at some Lego sets and stuff. I was like, God dang, man, that's kind of expensive. You know, this is before I came out of my dark ages. Now, if I had my kid with me and I was looking at Lego, dude, I'd be like, nah.
They're gonna
maybe on a special occasion, but like,
like
because if they were really going to get into Lego, they'd have to get an allowance, like get a like job or something, man. They're like, you know, you're going to have.
They're going to lose their fans, and they're going to see it in the coming days. They're not going to have young Lego Star Wars fans, and it's going to grow into they're not going to have T-falls anymore. Then they're going to start losing A-falls because as the sets get older, there's not going to be any young fans to get into it. It's not as easy to get into Lego Star Wars anymore because there is no affordable sets for them to get into anymore. You can't just grab a battle pack here, have fun. And you could with the battle pack. Now, what parent's going to grab a $45 battle pack to have their kids play with?
them.
No. Here's the other thing too is like, I hate it too when people use the argument like, well, just get them when they're on sale or go on clearance or whatever. Well, dude,
you shouldn't have to.
Parents are competing with Lego
scalpers,
competing with all of us.
Yeah,
I mean, really. I mean, not just scalpers, but people that might have Bricklink stores. They're trying to, like, you know, and I completely agree, because when we need stuff from Mox, man, we go buy from Bricklink, right? Or people that want to flip stuff, or people that are just trying to get something they really wanted on sale. And then you're not only competing with all these people, then you're competing with the store employees because they know what Lego's worth now. So as soon as it goes on clearance, I know tons of them, man, that work at Walmart and Target. You know, there's a content creator who works at Target, man. He gets hookups all the time, man. Yeah. You know, there was a video about him where he got like one of these sets before they were officially released or whatever. He tried to sell it at a Bricklink store. They're not happy about it.
I can imagine that.
But I'm saying, like, parents are competing with all these people. You know what I mean? So, like, they're not going to be able to, unless they just happen to be there right when something's on clearance.
Exactly. One of the other things I want to go back to, Hive, that you mentioned way earlier was the Imperial Remnant ATRT pilot helmet set. When that got revealed and there was no minifigure attached, the first thing in my head was, well, here we go. Let's watch everybody go freaking bananas because there's no minifigure in this set. And I'm like, the fact that that's the first thing that comes into my head, because it's like, you've now created this new precedent where Sauron's helmet got the minifigure. The F1 helmets got a minifigure. And then the first Star Wars helmet that comes out after all that has no minifigure attached to it. It's like, I honest to God believe the reason we have not gotten a Lego Star Wars CMF yet is because Lego knows the worth of Star Wars minifigures.
Yes.
And for them to put Star Wars minifigures behind a $5 paywall would basically screw them out of sales of other sets that could put those figures into to make people buy them to get those desirable characters. That's 100% the only reason why that a Star Wars CMF has not happened yet. It is 100% just because we're not going to give this to you for $5. We're going to put this, Scott, to your point, we're going to put Commander Bakara and his Marines into a $160 turbo tank that can't even stay together without having a feather land on it. And now go buy this to get your desirable characters, as opposed to here's a CMF, you can get them all you can get 12 characters right then and there. Boom.
You know,
that's like seriously.
You know what the one that actually is, the more I think about it, the more it pisses me off? Bly.
Yeah.
Bly by himself in that MTT. So you've got $45. By the way, no way in hell was I spending $45 for these. But one of the happiest moments of my shopping this year has been the fact that I got a $20 Amazon gift card for filling out a survey, and I use that $20 on an Amazon sale to get the freaking StarCore battle pack for $15. And I felt like, oh, look, I'm finally paying what they're worth.
Yep.
You know, but this is one of the reasons, I mean, of many, that I criticize the LAN program, because I just don't understand. I mean, I guess I do, but I don't understand why Lego doesn't have ambassadors communicate stuff to us, you know?
Like, that's what it's there for.
Well, because like the helmet stuff. Okay. All right. So hey, is there any way we could possibly get a reason why, this new helmet didn't come with a fig, since we've seen these other ones with figs? And I just would like to know what they say. And it hopefully it's something more intelligent than, well, consistency. Well, if it's consistency, then how about having the new helmets for Lord of the Rings and F1 helmets not come with a fig?
Yes.
Exactly.
I mean, see, that's what I mean, dude. Like,
they're
all of us
constantly
are just
contradicting.
sitting around here just like not knowing what is going on right now, dude. You know what I mean? And you've got 100+ land members, you know what I mean? An insane marketing team, like all these people that work for, like, nobody can just say, hey guys, we just want you to know, like, this is why we can't do Star Wars figs. This is why we won't do this. This is, you know what I mean? Like,
because if it's true what they say, that Hasbro controls the market because of some wording in a contract somewhere, and they come out and say, and Lego comes out and says, look, I understand you want to do these figures. Unfortunately, due to contractual obligations with XYZ, we are not unable to.
Yes.
Hasbro's already
away.
But it doesn't even make any sense.
No,
man.
problem-
Because look, even if they're like, we can't make
problem
figs
gets-
because they're saying they're action figures. But you guys, here, let me show you something.
Problem
you
gets-
know what's more looking like an action figure? Is this
That.
guy.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, man?
Problem gets even worse though, because you know what's going to happen is freaking
Well, I
Lego
don't
Star Wars people are going to go start harassing the shit out of Hasbro.
Hasbro.
They would.
Hardcore,
They
like-
honestly would.
They will. You get M&R beating the war drum and all of his little minions, and they're all going to start calling Hasbro like, "You're screwing
That
us
is
out of
I do like there's a lot of problems with Lego Star Wars, but I do feel like some things get blown way out of proportion
Oh my god.
by certain
It's
people who are
horrible.
just like, it's kind of become my thing to hate on Lego Star Wars
Mhm.
without having legit reason to do so.
chaos
like-
creates content." That's what the
Correct.
I think Hive brought up the best solution to try how to fix Star Wars. Bring in fans of Star Wars. I don't know what designers, like, if they are truly fans of Star Wars or not. Lego, it's hard to tell Lego to listen to your fans because there's so many different types of fans. No single solution is going to fix every single problem. There's always going to be somebody who's upset.
That
That's the
designer
unfortunate truth.
video, that designer video for the gunship was the worst possible thing they could have released.
Exactly. So, like, what they really should do is, like, bring in designers that are Star Wars fans, or at least bring in consultant of Star Wars fans. Like, hey, these sets would be cool for fans.
Bring in
Work
a product,
with them.
Bring in a
Exactly.
product manager,
Bring in
a
a
proper
consultant.
product manager.
Do some surveys. Do actual surveys. Don't let surveys get out there for people to just get a hold of and troll. Like, you have to, like, either buy a set and, like, there's like a specific code or something that you enter in, so you know that they bought the set. So it's someone who actually bought the set and wants to fix Star Wars. You have to bring in consultants or fans to find a way to get better. Otherwise, it's just going to keep repeating itself, and no one's going to be happy. And Star Wars is going to end up being a theme that nobody wants to buy anymore. Listen to the fans somewhat.
It's going the way of Harry Potter, which scares me.
Yes.
I don't think we're that bad yet.
No, we're not that
we're
bad,
getting-
but
we're
it's
getting
it's
close.
it's scary close.
I think there's enough variety to we're not getting. You want to see them do with UCS sets again? You know what would have been great to get last year? As much as I love how Django Slave 1 looks, you know what would have made even more sense to get last year as a UCS set? Why didn't we get a U-Wing last year to tie in with season 2 of Andor?
Because I don't think they knew how popular
Hey,
Andor
let
was
me
going to
ask-
be.
Let me ask you
that's
guys a
exactly
bigger
the right
question, man. Let me ask you guys a bigger question, because this is something I've been thinking about a little bit lately. Have you guys heard anything from Lego Star Wars or Star Wars in general about the 50th anniversary coming up?
Nope.
No, nothing.
No.
50th anniversary coming up, man. It's just nothing.
But they don't
Unless
pay
they're
attention to
keeping it
damn
under wraps.
anniversaries at this point.
Huh?
Like, they
Yeah,
just
Marvel.
I mean,
I'm talking
maybe
just
they
for
got
Star
something
Wars.
planned. I mean, I'm sure they got to have something planned, but I'm just like, we haven't heard anything about.
I mean, to be fair, Lego did a pretty good job of keeping Minas Tirith pretty secret for the most part. Maybe they're
Except
doing something
for,
for the 50th anniversary.
except for who is that?
Yes,
You guys
that
wanna
was
talk about it?
awesome. Yes. Outside of that, they kept it pretty quiet.
By the way, and we keep saying this tip: if you are not following them and giving them your love, go give them some love, because they took a bullet for for the community by accidentally
It's tips
releasing
and
them.
bricks, right?
Tips
Yeah.
and bricks.
Yeah.
Go
You know
give
what's
tips
funny?
and bricks some love.
They're at least very informative about a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what was really funny with Tips and Bricks was when they got the smart play sets and they reviewed them when they were in the land still, and they were like, yeah, these are kind of cool for what they are. And then they got they got suspended because of the Minas leak, and like the first article they published afterwards was, "We were wrong about smart play."
Oh, you're right. You're right.
That was the most amazingly timed article drop of all time.
Yeah, was
And-
that a coincidence?
All this,
There's
all this,
no way. There's no way.
all this stuff leaking out now about how they're pushing the influencers to just do nothing but praise whatever comes out and not give a valid opinion. That's pissing me off because it's just creating insincerity and nobody's going to trust anything that comes out of their mouth.
I mean, we
And
know people in the land, and said people that we know that are in the land that we've talked to were like, yeah, we didn't want the press kit for smart play.
Who would?
I've
said
heard a
no.
lot of different stuff. You know what I mean? Look, the biggest thing that any content creator can do, I would say, especially in land, you know, and I've used the example of like DCS Razor Crest. That's the best thing I can always tell people is like, I paid whatever $650 for that thing. And even though I kind of want to kick myself for paying that much money for it, I love it. I don't regret
it's a
it.
great chip.
And I'll go back and I'll buy it again. Right.
Yep.
Now, imagine I'm in land and Lego gave it to me. I'm still gonna have the exact same opinions I had about it, but like what? Because they gave it to me, I gotta say, oh, it sucks. Like the biggest thing that all these content creators can do, though, man, is just be honest with your audience. Even if they can't know for sure your real intent, but at least if you've got a good repertoire with them, they trust you. You know, you've built up a trust with them, and you say, yeah, it's a great set or no or whatever. Like, yeah, I mean that's your audience, man. They're gonna
Exactly.
And
It's
like
crazy.
and people that don't whatever make comments and say like, oh, you're a show, whatever, just ignore them, man. That's what I tell, like, even when I rant about stuff, if you don't like my opinion, just ignore it. You know
It's
what I mean?
crazy.
Like, who cares?
It's
The internet.
It's crazy to me that there are the people crap on the land members for like, you just get this and glaze it because you got it for free. But when Lego and TT Games did their whole event where they invited and flew out a bunch of content creators to get their hands on the new Lego Batman game, and I've seen like Ashton Flash got to play it, said he enjoyed it, things like that. People were giving him like, you just said you like it because you got to play it. When I looked at like the video game channels, like Caboose and some of those guys that played the game, and they were like, this game is awesome, the comments were like, can't wait to get our hands on it. It's like, I feel like this is
Lego community itself has
Lego
become
problem
toxic.
and not anybody else.
Like, let me like a quick example. Like, so there's a few people that I ran about out in the Lego space. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't care. I'll say it. I think they're complete shills. You know, just the way they act, they're over the top expressions about stuff. They're the things they say. It's like, come on, dude, really? Like, if you like it, that's great. If you want to praise it, that's great. But you act like you're getting ready to get on your knees about it. You know what I mean? So look, but for instance, like Brickmaster Harry, he got to just go and see like the Mandalorian Grogu backstage, like a bunch of stuff, props. I'm not exactly sure what it was. You know what I mean? And I don't really care because I don't care about the movie that much. But the point is, I believe Harry when he's like excited and happy and stuff. I don't think it's like he's just saying these things because like Lego's paying him, because I've watched Harry long enough to know like I trust what he says. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean everybody else does or whatever, but I do. So that's the biggest thing I always tell is like, just be honest with your audience, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Correct.
Not everyone's going to be happy. And at the end of the day, Lego Star Wars has been around for 20 plus years. Like,
it's not
Star
going
Wars
anywhere.
Itself, it's not going anywhere. It's been around for 50 years.
It's wounded, but it's still alive.
It has a chance to come back. Only time will tell if Lego can fix it.
Isn't it wonderful? Sorry, I just can't let that go.
I mean,
I
don't.
Oh, go ahead.
I don't hate the sets we're getting. Like, I think the sets for the most part are pretty good. I just think the issue is they're extraordinarily overpriced.
That hurts it big time.
They're very overpriced, and there are certain things where I like the new Razor Crest. I've got it day one. I built it. I really enjoyed it. Is it worth $150? No. If I didn't buy it using money I got from selling a bunch of stuff I didn't want anymore, would I have bought it on day one? Absolutely not. But the fact that I was like, you know what? I have a little extra money. I want to get this. I'm excited about the movie. Let me go pick this up. I really want to get Zeb. And I built it and was like, I like this for what it is. I would not tell anybody else to buy it for $150. But if it was like 110, 120, I'd be like, you know what? Yeah, go get it. It's for that, it's worth it. But like, don't repackage a set that's smaller than the one you gave us before that has less pieces and charge almost $30 more and be like, there you go. Here's your new one. Like, no,
Just because it has Zeb's head.
just because Zeb's in it.
Right.
Just because
And
Zeb
dual
is.
molded legs. Don't forget the dual molded legs.
Yeah,
But
dual-
how long until, you know what I mean, a crash out, a bursting bubble, or I priced these people out, you know what I mean? How long?
I think it's starting to
it's
happen
coming.
already.
It's
I
coming.
mean, it's definitely happening already, but I mean, like, because, you know, like I talk about CMFs a lot. Like, you know, a lot of us can remember when they were just like $3, maybe.
There used to be $3.
Yeah,
in the
they're
days.
$5 now. I'm sure 6 will be coming before too long. You know what I mean? Like, what's going to be the cap out before people are like,
Even
yeah, this isn't worth it.
$5. Even $5 isn't that bad to me because we're getting like tip top, creme de la creme, like all kinds of.
I would
molds and
agree with
crazy
you
molds
if
and
it was
stuff.
very limited, but we're talking about a
Yes.
mass production line. Like and plus
yeah.
it's not employees doing any of this stuff. It's all robots
No.
and everything. So like
No.
they're making hand over fist on
Exactly.
all this stuff. Like, how much do you think it costs to make one of these CMFs?
2 cents, if
I mean,
that.
I don't know how much. I mean,
I
it's
would
like
go
a
that
relative
route,
question,
Wow.
but like,
I
they're
I
making
actually
money.
I read somewhere I think it's like $1.15 right now per minifigure.
Really?
because the thing I've talked about before is
Materials
like,
are going
all the
up,
money-
and printing is going up.
Yeah, think of all the money Lego spends on marketing, giving sets to land members, you know, the advertising, like building all this crap that they build. You know what I mean? Like, they spend so much money. Then investments, like $1 billion of games, and then we're building these, you know, warehouses. Like, and they're
$1 billion
still
to Epic Games.
profiting
Exactly.
multi billions of dollars, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Doesn't make
I
any
they
think
sense.
we're getting a
making
little.
so much money.
So it's getting to the point right now where it's $5 a gallon gas, and increased. If I gotta choose between a freaking miniaturized, shrinkflation, overpriced toy against being able to drive to work or drive anywhere and then buy food, the toy's gone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, you know, this whole thing of we're catering to a whatever they want to call it, they're
premium
catering to the
product.
rich. They're catering a premium product to a premium clientele. That's not going to fly anymore because guess what? The premium clientele is going to run for cover now because everything else costs a freaking arm and a leg.
And the
I
thing
think
with
Star
Lego,
Wars is the
like,
perfect example, honestly.
Yeah,
Because like
and-
Star Wars is like I was saying earlier, it's like the guinea pig where they test stuff. But in all reality, if Lego Star Wars fans leave, a lot of other Lego
What do you have
fans
left?
will follow. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like they're like, if Lego loses Lego Star Wars fans, they're gonna lose a lot.
Well, then
Yeah.
they'll have to start making more bicycles and weird things that nobody wants and pull in
UCS
weird
bicycle.
people. Yeah,
Yeah,
big
weird.
UCS bicycle.
What is that bicycle about, man?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Why?
Foolish.
You know
I
what's
think
funny?
we're getting off topic.
I know like 10 people that want to go get it because they're triathletes and they're like, this is great. This is like for me.
yeah, it's like whoopee.
I'm like, great. It's for you. Oh, good.
Yay.
For 10
Yeah, but
people.
The thing is, like, I mean,
Congrats.
Lego would probably argue this, but like, God, you can't make something for every single person on the planet.
No.
Man. Like, what are you
Well,
gonna
they're
make a sewing
trying.
kit?
They
next?
are
You know, like-
trying to make something for
Trying.
everybody, and that is
So-
their goal.
And you know, the thing that Lego has done, and every other corporation has done this as well, because look, they all have to keep up with quarterly profits, man. You know what I
Yes,
mean? That's
they
their
do.
biggest thing, right? That's why they're making, like, they can talk about the environment all they want with their, we're gonna go ahead and make 10 life-size F1 cars, but yeah, we're all about the environment. You know what I mean? But no, they're making like stuff into
life-size
like
F1
cardboard and all
cars.
that to save on production costs, to save on shipping costs. Like, dude, that's a lot of money for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing that kills me is, remember when, you know, COVID hit and they raised the prices like sometimes in the double digits that one summer. They
Yes.
raised a bunch of prices, right?
Yes.
Okay. And even though they're already greedy, but I'm like, okay, I get it right now. Production costs and everything's really high or whatever. We're okay. But then inflation went back down to like 3%. Because it wasn't like
And they
8% when they
left their
raised the
prices
prices.
They're
Yeah,
not gonna
do you
give up
think
that
they lower their
profit.
prices? They don't adjust
No,
and go
they
back
won't give
down.
up that profit. They'll
Yeah,
never give
dude.
up.
And that's
No
what I mean,
company in the
dude.
right mind would. But like that's business, unfortunately. Like if you
I know that's
raise
where the
your
phrase
price,
"that's business" comes from.
that's unfortunate, but that's the
Business is
unfortunate
some
truth. Like
crappy
with
stuff
my accounting
sometimes.
background, if you have to raise a price to counteract the cost of it, if your cost goes down, why in anyone's right mind would you lower the price to lower your profit margin? If
Because
you're
it's
able
called
to make
ethics.
Yeah,
I
maybe
understand.
you-
Exactly.
Nobody
I-
has them.
no.
Nobody has
I-
ethics.
I-
Nobody has them.
Can you imagine if any company
business.
did lower their prices for that? Do you know how much word of mouth, positive word of mouth would get around? That company might end up making
theory.
more.
but it won't happen.
It's
I know.
Yeah.
you know,
The
I
world
jokingly
sucks,
call
but-
that the Mr. Mom scenario.
But the problem is,
You remember
when
Mr. Mom?
Yeah, I remember that movie.
Mr. Mom.
They take the step and they say it's high inflation. It was Reaganomics at the time, and that company stood. That she said, as a female, as a mom, as a consumer, if you don't raise your prices and you publicly advertise the fact that you're giving up your profits to appeal to the greater good, their sales went through the roof.
Yep.
I mean, for crying out loud, okay, you're only going to make $5 billion instead of 11.
Yeah,
Like,
that's another
gee,
thing that doesn't
and,
confuse me.
that's
It's a private company, so like they're not trying to appeal to shareholders. I don't know what's going on.
It's a
We're
problem.
getting off topic.
No, it's not. It's a problem in capitalism. It's a problem in capitalism at its core that
That's
you
my
must
fault.
always make more than you did the previous year. So if they
Yeah,
don't
Star
make
Wars
13
sucks.
billion, if they don't make 15,
Yeah,
13
Star Wars
billion,
Lego Star Wars sucks. That's what it is. Lego Star Wars sucks, and I think that's I don't think there's much else we can say.
Nah.
bring me a Molotov cocktail. I'm just getting warm.
Probably
now.
gets one
No,
forever before Scott
Scott,
goes
behave
full
yourself.
crazy.
Look, everybody, I think in a nutshell, with Lego Star Wars, like everybody's got their own line in the sand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I've already
That's
crossed mine to where pretty much, unless it's something really radical, man, I'm only going to be buying like UCS sets, and probably even them only in that kind of a range.
Yeah,
But like if a Ghost came out, look, if $1,000 Ghost came out, I'd buy it.
me too.
I ain't gonna lie, you guys.
Me
I'd buy
too.
it. And I the
$1,000
best
Ghost
slice,
came out.
whatever. But because I've almost gotten the Falcon so many times, you know what I mean? I never pulled the trigger. But
Circling to me.
But
it's-
yeah, everybody's got their line.
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean. And
the line
like-
is way the hell back there, and I'm standing here and I'm like I'm done.
My
Well, I
line
mean,
is
like,
buying
Lannister
Star Wars
is-
sets once a year now.
he's talking about like some of this stuff isn't bothering him as much as like maybe it's bothering me. You know what I mean? So like
Right.
he's okay for some things, you know what I mean? And then of course it's fine, because everybody's got their own level of what they like, what they dislike. I mean, because ultimately Lego, no matter what, is art. It's art.
is. It can be,
yes.
So, and it's subjective. You know what I mean? It's whatever people like. Because people that have money, dude, $1,000 Death Star wasn't nothing to them. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But
I mean,
it's about perception, I guess. You know what I mean?
I sit here and I go I'm like man, Lego Star Wars is not great, but I look at like the ATTE from a couple years ago. That set was awesome. I look at Django Slave One from last year. Yes, I think I wanted to be a U-wing. Yes, is it now something different? Was it the Slave One? Yeah, the Slave One. That set is still great though. Like we're getting things that are still good. They're either just pricing it way higher than they should, or we are just getting bad sets like the turbo tank and things like that. I feel like they're going to start losing people now,
and I
because
feel
of the
sorry
MTT turbo tank and the new Racer Crest.
And I feel sorry for kids and people without
Yes.
money, really, or don't have the kind of money to spend. I mean, Star Wars is a whole different story, but like the Ministerial, we just seen that came out today, right? But like the last 3 Lord of the Rings sets have been priced over $300-$400. I mean, right? The Bartador,
The last 3 out of 4 have been over $400.
yeah, and I'm like, the Star Trek Enterprise that came out, man, like that was a few $100, and it's just like, dude, imagine being a Star Trek fan and you love Lego, and then that thing came out, you're like, damn, like could at least also put out a miniature one, like the Star Wars ships, the smaller Star Wars ships,
And
Like
this
the
is where we
Enterprise as
are.
a mini scale ship would be great.
Or this is where we are. We're in a Star Wars video, current state of it, and we're talking about Star Trek.
Dude, the
I
fan
think
gonna
at that
kill
point
me,
we've hit
dude.
the wall. We've hit the wall.
Get the pitchforks and the
chat-
torch.
Your
Put
comment
heads to
section
the
could be like,
wall.
you guys never have Hive on there again, man. You guys can track during Star Wars.
No, we will definitely have you back again. I want to thank you for coming on for this.
Nah,
video.
I
We're gonna start
appreciate it.
wrapping
I'm
up
just
now.
gonna
It is
follow you
always
around
fun.
YouTube all the time and just comment on all your stuff. Be like, preach, Hive, preach, brother.
Hive, where can everybody find you?
On YouTube, BrickHive, Instagram, BrickHive. I also got a TikTok, and yeah, I think actually TikTok's just under Hive.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll have all that stuff linked below.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for watching this episode. If you have not already, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you're notified when all brand new episodes go live. Join the Discord. It is in the description below. It is a super fun space. Brick Clicker's in there now, so that's always fun. I'm going to plug that Brick Clicker's in there because he
Really?
just randomly joined and we were like, oh my
Click
God,
out.
Brick Clicker's in here. Holy hell.
Click out.
But it was great.
No, he's
Jump
such a
Jump into
good
Discord.
dude.
Can I
He's
talk
such
to
a good
Brick
dude.
Clicker now?
He got a lot
Yeah,
of
right?
history,
Oh
man,
my
with us.
We should just
Yeah.
give Brick Clicker his own channel in the Discord.
Yeah, man, he's been
Um,
around a long time.
But Yeah, you can find us on. Thank you to channel members D Glaze and Ben Northway 338. Thanks, you guys are awesome. We love you. Thank you for helping us keep doing fun stuff and giving us a little extra chili cheese to do some fun things. You can find us on Instagram at the Brick Hour Pod. You can find me on Instagram at Langster Builds.
You can find me at Cameron Studios _
You can find me at Rogue Lannister. Cam's gonna cry.
I am. It's my bricks and me on YouTube.
We will see everybody. We will see everybody in the next episode. Have a great night. Happy building.
Burn capitalism.
Peace out.